Barbecue family. Happy Easter weekend. Kenyatta Robinson here, joined by my lovely wife, Jeannine. How are you doing this evening?
Doing okay.
All right. Well, it's what we like to call, or at least what Jeannine liked to call, Open Mic Friday for some reason. But for the last Friday of the month, what we like to do is just keep the topic, not really have a firm set topic, just keep things pretty light.
Yeah.
And open things up to the viewing audience, those who are watching us live on either YouTube or Facebook, or also tuning in on the Backyard SmokeMaster BBQ website. We welcome you to come in with your comments and any questions that you have. We're here to talk about barbecue. And really hoping to hear from you guys, because that's the engine that really drives the show. So let me just start off, though. One of the videos that working on and hoping to get onto the channel pretty soon has to do with doing kind of like the debate between doing 3-2-1 ribs versus no wrap ribs. So I'll start this off by asking you. Oh wait, we do have a comment. Let me, before I ask that question, gotta get to the comments.
True.
So we've got is that HRV Art? Okay. Give me a shout out, Harvey the editor. Okay.
Oh, hey.
Okay, so this is Harvey, who is someone that I'm working with for the first time. So good to see you on the podcast here. Yep, giving you it kind of threw me off the user tag. But yeah, we're working on a video right now, hoping to get that up sometime this weekend. It looks, we're pretty much there.
I think it's looking promising
on that video. But yeah, so getting back to what I was gonna ask you is, with regard to 3-2-1 ribs, do you know what 3-2-1 ribs are?
Right. Like, I can admit to everyone, I did not know. I mean, I know the idea, but I didn't know that's what it was formally called.
Well, okay, so it's basically like an acronym for a concept. For it's basically a method, for doing ribs. So yeah, so that's my question. Do you know why it's called 3-2-1, or do you have any?
So you always give me the tough questions. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think it might have to do with how long you're cooking, and then you're resting or you're switching it out to another method. So let's say you started off with no foil for 3. Maybe you look at it, check on it, then you foil it for 2, and then you do something else for the 1. And I don't know what that one is.
Okay. No, that was, you're on the right track.
Yes.
And actually, yeah, while you were talking, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's going on with my overlay here. There we go. Now I got it.
We're back.
Got it right. Okay. So that was a good stall tactic. And it worked. No, so the 3-2-1 method, basically, yeah, you're right. It has to do with like lengths of time. And it became really popular. I want to say, I don't know. I don't really know exactly when it became popular or who made it popular, but I think some of the guys that, were competing.
Yeah, I figured it's a competition thing.
Yeah, on the TV shows. Yeah. Maybe it was Tuffy Stone or Harry Sue or Myron Mixon. I don't know which one of them probably made it really popular. I think I've heard that maybe it was Tuffy Stone.
Okay. That makes sense.
But basically the idea is in order to, like, a foolproof way to get your ribs, and we're talking pork ribs, so we're talking baby backs.
And St. Louis style?
Yeah, spare ribs, St. Louis style ribs. The foolproof, surefire way that anyone, barbecuing at home can get their ribs super tender. I think initially it was, you started off by smoking your ribs at 225 degrees. That seemed to be the rule starting off.
So it's like a low and slow?
Very low and slow.
Okay.
And the first 3 hours, your ribs are on the smoker and they're not wrapped. So, they're naked. They're just on the smoker, taking in the smoke flavor for the first 3 hours at 225 degrees. And then, so that's the 3. Mm-hmm. And then the 2, the second, the second number, the 2, is then you wrap your ribs for 2 hours in aluminum foil.
Okay.
And a lot of times, especially when I started to really get into barbecue, what I saw was during that 2 hour window when you get ready to wrap your ribs, a lot of folks will then add something to it.
Like mustard or something like that, or apple juice.
Definitely not applesauce.
Apple juice or
Okay.
water? Like, what are they adding?
Yeah, so it could be a number of possibilities. Like it could be, apple juice. It could be apple cider vinegar.
Oh, that's right.
But then also you might add a few pats of butter. And then also, especially on the competition circuit, I saw a lot of people adding brown sugar or maybe honey. And then as time went on, we would start to see people, adding things
like mayonnaise.
No.
Oh,
So mayo, mustard, those are like binders. So
okay.
that's what you would use, in the prep phase with your meat, and you're using some type of a binder to help the rub adhere and stick to the meat. So you're thinking of things like that.
Okay.
But no, so the second hour, it's the 2 and the 3, 2, 1 is usually is to add. It's to add like another layer of flavor, and then wrapping it tight in the foil, and that is going to really tenderize the meat. I mean that's what really got the ribs super duper tender. Usually at the end of that 2 hour window, by then your ribs are ready to just fall off the bone.
Okay.
But then I think for a lot of people, especially on the competition circuit, because that's not what you want, fall off the bone ribs.
Seems like it's overcooked.
Is not what is going to win you anything.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like it's overcooked, mushy. But there's an argument about that.
Sure.
But that's kind of how it might be viewed on the competition circuit.
But what about the backyard?
But in the backyards, a lot of people were falling in love with, fall off the bone.
Me too.
Right. But then to then kind of firm it up for the third number is the 1. 3 hours, 3 hours naked, unwrapped, 2 hours wrapped in foil.
Is the 1 hour a rest?
And then 1 hour, it's unwrapped. And the idea is to give it time to kind of firm it up a little bit so that it's not quite as, fall off the bone, mushy. And then a lot of times when you get to the end of that last hour, maybe the last 20 minutes or so, a lot of people, that would be the time where you might sauce your ribs.
If you sauce.
Right.
Because I don't think I used to believe sauce was just the it. But since, you've prepared ribs in so many different ways, so many different rubs, I've come around to your line of thinking, and I think I'm I'm not anti-sauce, but I think I'm more
Well,
without it than with it.
so I feel like the sauce should be optional.
Right.
I think, whatever you're barbecuing, if
Right.
it's ribs, chicken, whatever, beef,
Yeah, beef.
I think that, unless you're doing burnt ends, I think that, your meat should
Or
be
pork
able.
belly. You got to sauce.
Well, yeah, pork belly burnt ends,
Yeah.
or brisket, beef burnt ends, brisket burnt ends, poor man burnt ends, all of those. Yeah, the whole intent is to get them nice and sweet and succulent at the
saucy.
end with the sauce, but. Otherwise, I feel like your barbecue, your final product should be able to stand on its own
right.
with or without sauce.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just my opinion. And then, it's up to the person who's eating it, whether or not they want to add sauce to it. But,
Right.
it shouldn't have to, the sauce kind of like, it can either complement, what you've already cooked.
Or hide it.
Yeah, or it can mask it, hide it, drowning it, in the sauce or whatever. So I'm one that, unless I'm doing burnt ends, I'm not thinking about trying to have, sauce at the end. So that's basically that's the 3-2-1 method. And then what we have seen, especially over the last couple of years, is a couple of things. People have realized, that 3-2-1, that's a minimum 6 hours
Cook.
on the smoker. And you don't necessarily have to do it that way.
But
for
it is tried and
instance,
true.
I mean, it's tried and true, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Okay.
So you could smoke your ribs at a higher temperature, for instance. You could go 250, you could go 275. You don't have to do 225. And Mike says, howdy.
Hey,
fellow Northern Californian is in the house. So glad to see you, Mike. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
We are also in the Northern California. We're in the Bay Area.
Yes, we are. And it is cold today and raining.
Yeah, I thought we were kind of past, the winter rains, but I guess, it's still early spring, so it's good. It's good.
I mean, if it gets colder, I'm always holding out hope. I know it's real late in the season, but I'm always holding out hope that maybe we'll get a little snow on Mount Diablo, which is always kind of exciting for some reason. We got this amazing, about a week ago, double rainbow. I don't know if you saw it. It
I didn't
was
see it.
so superb. It was just like, oh my gosh. It was visually just so stimulating and beautiful. And it was bright and just so like saturated. And I was like, wow, this is like a kind of a treat.
Well, did you take a picture?
No.
Of course.
Well, because, I don't want to be those people that pull over on the side of the road, and then that's your focus. And your focus should just really be on driving. But it was just so beautiful that I was like, oh, this is so nice. Thank you. So I might not get snow, but I did get a double rainbow.
Okay.
I'll take it any day.
Well, Mike asked, are you still using the Mac?
Oh.
So yes, actually another one of the videos we have coming out actually is not going to be about the Mac, but it is going to be about my newest pellet grill, which is from a company called Z Grills. So they actually sent this grill to me, and I'm running it through its paces, and we're going to do a walk around kind of initial thoughts about the Z Grills, but with that in mind, it got me again going back to thinking about like with the Mac and with other pellet grills, people ask, like what is your position, or how do you feel about pellet grills? I think Mike, who came on the podcast last week from Bones Barbecue, I think he asked me, how I felt about pellet grills. So, and this would include the Mac. I think pellet grills are great to have. Yeah. If you're really getting into barbecue, I would encourage, everyone to try your hand at a charcoal grill. Learn how to manage temperatures and cook with barbecue. I mean, cook with charcoal, and then you can enhance that flavor with like wood chunks, to get smoke flavor.
Yeah.
Even though they sell the wood chips everywhere, leave the wood chips on, on the shelves in the store. Go with the wood chunks.
It's like almost like sawdust. It just doesn't last at all. It doesn't have any flavor. I think it's just a cheap thing that you should stay away from, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. So leave the wood chips in the store.
Yeah.
But instead of getting a gas grill, I feel like the pellet grill is like the perfect, replacement alternative to getting a gas grill.
Well, in fact, we donated ours.
Well, yeah, our gas grill had been sitting in our, garage for years.
Yeah,
So
it really
we were
had.
finally able to move it, get it out of there.
And it was beautiful. It was lovely. It was this really pretty burgundy color. And I mean, it looked new. And it was because there's just so many other options out there that completely eclipsed it. And yeah, I was living in the garage and, I'm trying to clean out the garage. So it'd be lovely to clean out more things. But it started with that grill. And I'm glad that it found a new home.
Well, yeah. So, your gas grill is convenient.
Yep.
It's easy to use. Just turn the knob. The disadvantage is, you're not going to get any smoke flavor.
Zero.
I mean, I know there's some things you can get like a smoke tube or something like that, to try and add some smoke flavor.
But a lot of effort.
Well, it's effort, but even the smoke tube, essentially what you use inside of a smoke tube is you're burning pellets. So you might as well just go and get a pellet grill instead of a gas grill. So the advantages of having a pellet grill are it's just as easy as using a gas grill, maybe even easier, because most of them have, digital controllers. So you can set your temperature, just dial up the number that you want, and then the pellet grill is going to do the work for you.
Yeah.
Especially the well-made ones, the good ones are going to, the temperature's going to moderate. Like if you set it to 250, the temperature's going to go maybe down to 225, maybe go up as high as 275.
But that's acceptable, right?
It's acceptable because generally it will average out around that 250 that you want. So really easy to use,
Yes, it is.
really convenient, really good like on a weeknight, after work, and you don't have time or the energy to be trying to fuss around and manage temperatures with a charcoal or even a stick burner. You just want something quick and easy, but you want it to be barbecue. So you can do that with a pellet grill, pellet smoker.
Yeah, you even said one time that you could just almost like set it and forget it, which I thought was like, well that's kind of cool.
That's the idea. You set the temperature and you set it and forget it. You really don't have to do anything. Once you got it punched, that temperature that you want punched in, there's not really much else that you need to do. So
then monitor the pellets, right, at a certain point, getting a little low.
Just make. Yeah. I mean, unless you're doing like a brisket or something.
Yes, I think that's what you were doing at the time.
That might be a case where you need to keep an eye on, the amount of pellets that you have in the hopper. Eventually,
You're gonna run out.
You don't want them to run out, but
Burn through.
for most things, especially if you top off the hopper, you should be fine. So with all that being said, as far as the Mac, I have had my Mac 1-star General. I can't even remember, but
5 years?
it's definitely more than 5 years, probably more like 7 or 8 years that I've had it. And, it is still works like a charm, really well made, built like a tank.
Yeah.
I like that, they've added some things, some upgrades that you can get. Initially, the version that I have was really only good for smoking at low and slow temperatures.
Okay.
But they added an accessory. I'm kind of blanking on the exact name of it.
Well, probably one of
what
the,
it's
the
called.
listeners will know what it's called.
But yeah, there's like an add-on accessory that they had that you could buy that will allow you to essentially turn your low and slow Mac cooker into one that can also do high temperatures. And I did add that to my Mac a few years ago, and it works
pretty good.
It works great.
Well, the reason why I know that you still like the Mac is the placement in our backyard. Because I don't know, I don't know if you've done the tour of the backyard, but, you have a lot of what I used to call toys, but I know that those are precious equipment. And, just it never moves from its location. So I figure you still really, really are enjoying it because it's in a prominent spot in our backyard. So that's how
it's still in a prominent spot, but okay, so that's another thing about having a pellet grill is that obviously it has to be near an electrical outlet.
Oh,
that's one of
the reason, man. I thought it was because you're still in love with it
I do.
Using it all the time.
But it's kind of been in that one position because it's close to an electrical outlet.
Yeah, okay, now I get it. So we have a question about what are you cooking for Easter?
Okay, well, I wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
So this is the add-on that I added to my Mac One Star. It's the Flame Zone. So this is like an internal insert that you can add to your, if you have an older Mac, that will then give it even more capabilities.
So it almost extends its life by giving you more options to kind of use it on.
Well, it extends the life, but then also it just gives it more versatility. I mean, most of the newer pellet smokers that you buy now, now they are capable right from the gate of cooking both low and slow and hot and fast. So,
but 7 years ago, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, that wasn't the case. That was a big criticism about pellet grills. And to some extent, it still is. The question of can they get hot enough, to sear a steak? So now, when you're buying a pellet grill these days.
It does that already.
Ideally, it should.
Okay.
It should be able to get up at least 450, 500 degrees.
So that's something you should look for, right? So if you're looking around and you're not finding one that can get to that temperature, then maybe you should look someplace else. It sounds like.
I mean, I think you'd be hard pressed to buy a new pellet grill today that doesn't, doesn't tout its ability to get hot.
Got it.
Like that. Yeah. So, okay, let's get to Eric's question. So what are you cooking for Easter?
Oh.
So, unfortunately, I'm not doing anything super extravagant, for Easter. I've been voluntold by Jeannine here that I am to smoke some bacon. It's just bacon. I'm supposed to smoke some bacon for the church because, they're having some things brought in from various people for Easter Sunday. So I've been told that I need to smoke my bacon.
Now, you can do whatever you want. You can add additional meats, additional proteins that we can eat. But the church only needed that one, protein. And I said, yeah, I think Ken will do it and he'll do a good job. And they all were so excited. So, even though you think it's a small little thing, it's going to mean a lot to them.
I know. And that's why I'm doing it. And it's easy. but my bacon is good.
It's
My
so
bacon
good.
off of the smoker
Oh my God.
is good. And
Yeah.
actually, if it's not raining, I probably will make a video out of it.
That's right.
I have my own method for smoking the bacon.
It's
It's
delicious.
slow smoked, but it
Absolutely.
really does, render all that fat out and
Yep.
get a lot of nice, bacon
Flavor.
grease.
No, the flavor, the
And,
smoke flavor comes through.
yeah.
It's going to be delicious. I'm looking forward to it. And everyone at churches. So the word has spread and they're all looking forward. But for those who don't know, we're having an Easter brunch. So it's just perfect for that.
Right. So yeah, Eric, that's all Jeannine already bought a honey baked ham.
I did. I cheated this
so
year.
I'm
It's
gonna
been very
do my
busy.
bacon. So I don't have any plans, unfortunately, to do anything else. We're
Well, you
gonna
could.
go and
You could maybe do something else if you wanted. I'm not closing the door on it.
nope.
Well, you're obviously your eyeballs in videos, so and I just didn't want to put a lot of pressure on you this year, so I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's no apologies needed. I'm just being honest. I wish I had a more exciting answer for Eric about what I'm smoking for Easter. But let me know in the comments what you guys are doing.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
Easter.
I'd like to know.
Definitely would like to know if you're
Yeah.
doing like a turkey or maybe you're doing a prime rib.
Or maybe you're doing it simple. I've had a taste for like some smoked deviled eggs. I've had a taste for like desserts, just really cool, different things that, maybe don't take a lot of time, but bring the flavor. That's important to me. So I really would like to hear what folks are going to be cooking.
Yeah. So moving on. 2-Bit Smoke Show says hello from Charleston, South
All right.
Carolina.
It's one of my favorite places. Oh my God, they had the best grits I've ever had. Like they were so ridiculously good, unbelievable.
I haven't been, so I can't
Beautiful,
say.
beautiful state, just gorgeous. People were so nice, and the food was so good. So yeah, I could go back.
All right. So he asked, have you made a video recently touring your backyard showing all of your current smokers?
Nope.
No. There is a video that I did a few years ago.
But you've added to your collection.
Yeah,
That is for sure.
The collection has probably changed.
Yeah.
Quite a bit
I think
since
so.
then. I don't even think I had my Weber Summit Kamado
Nope.
when we did that video.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I probably have. I mean, they're not all in the backyard, but
No,
I
they're not.
think I do own probably like 15
I think so too.
grills and smokers.
And some of them are in my garage.
Well, no, there's just the only thing in the garage I think is like a little Smoky Joe.
Really?
That's it. You
So
know.
what? Okay, so when I go in the garage, I'm just seeing what? I'm seeing a ton of wood. I'm seeing lump
Anyway,
charcoal.
that wasn't the question.
Yeah, I know, but
So-
I thought that there were several like buried in the garage. So
No, there's just the little Smoky Joe.
All right.
There are a couple of grills over at my parents' house
That's
in
true,
their
too.
backyard.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I probably should do
Something.
another video that does a tour of what we got in the backyard.
Now, are you going to leave those grills over at your parents?
Yeah, that was the idea. Was that way, if I wanted to barbecue while I was over at their house, that I could.
What's over there?
So I just have a Weber Master Touch,
Okay.
a kettle over there, and then also a Pit Barrel Junior
Ah, okay.
that I left over there.
Okay.
So yeah, but then we got some new stuff in the yard. So that's a good suggestion. We should probably do another tour of what we got in the backyard. All right, 2-Bit says, wow, I would love to watch that video of 15 smokers. Cannot wait for that video to get posted. Yeah, yeah, that
That's
would,
a good one.
yeah, that's definitely something. Because yeah, definitely we got a couple of Hunsaker drum smokers in the backyard. We've got the LSG offset smoker.
You got a gift for Christmas.
Yeah, we got the new Weber Smoky Mountain. We got the Z Grills Backyard Warrior. That's the newest pellet grill. And then we still have the Mac 1-Star General.
I mean, you even have a flat top back there, which I like when you cook on that, because I know it's
Yeah,
not.
you need to see what's happening. I haven't used the flat top in quite a while. Camp Chef.
And you have a fryer back there.
Yeah, I do have a fryer. It's a deep fryer. And I have to admit, I kind of have not been using it. I just hate the way the process for lighting it, and getting it ignited.
Right.
Yeah, it's just...
It's a challenge,
right? It's a not really a challenge, but it's a little scary, to be honest. When you get it lit up, it kind of sounds like an airplane getting ready to take off. So yeah, I've been a little bit gun shy with that fryer back there.
Aww.
Hello, Rodney. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And then we got Mike.
Hey.
Mike says, "Hey guys, hope all is well." Okay, it's Mike. That's right. I didn't recognize the last name, but yeah, Mike from Bones Barbecue. Thanks for tuning in, Mike.
All right.
Yeah, if you haven't checked that out, that podcast episode out, but Mike joined us last week, and we had a great conversation talking about barbecue. So you can definitely catch that replay if you haven't seen it already on the YouTube channel.
All right.
So again, like I started off, talking about the 3-2-1 ribs.
Yep.
And, speaking of Mike, and then Mike as well as Q Belly's barbecue, they've kind of gotten me to move completely away from, doing the wrap ribs, So now I'm thinking, I don't want to do wrap anymore. Joe really convinced me of Q Belly's barbecue. He really convinced me that you don't need to wrap. So we're gonna get a video out talking about that.
Good. Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, so basically, you smoke at a higher temperature than 225. Like if you go 275, you can get it done in about 4.5 hours tops.
That's pretty reasonable, right? I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, and the ribs, are going to be tender.
I remember my daddy, over his equipment, and it was like a labor of love, and it was hours and hours and hours. So I think if you can speed it up and still get really good results, I'm for it.
Now, did your dad watch? I mean, did your dad, did he wrap his ribs?
He did not. He never did.
Okay.
And I mean, from the get-go, he never wrapped them. And I think that's right. I really do.
So he probably was going really low and slow.
He was.
Because I just remember him, talking about having them out there for like 7 8 hours. So he must have been smoking them at like maybe 200 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Something really, really low and slow.
And it worked. They were delicious. I mean, it was my first memory of just really good ribs. So, but I think he would have appreciated knowing that this is another method. And I think he would have tried it. And I think he would have liked it. So that's just my little opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about that. Your dad was kind of
he was stubborn
and set in his ways. I don't know.
I think he would have tried it. Now that I do. I do think he would have tried it.
It would have took a lot of convincing, though, I think, to get him to try it.
Yeah, but I think he would have. He would have had you demonstrate it, and then he would have tried it. And I do think he would have done that, as long as you demonstrated it.
All right, if you say so. Okay. Now, Rodney says, "Oh wow, I've watched several of your lives, and my comments were never seen. I enjoy your channel, and I'm a new subscriber."
All right.
Well, okay. First, I'm sorry that we
Yeah.
didn't see your comments before, Rodney.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad that we see them now, and
Absolutely.
glad to hear that you're a subscriber. So
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
don't be a stranger. Tune in to the lives.
That's right.
We're doing it every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific. So definitely thank you for tuning in and continue to leave comments as
Oh,
well.
absolutely. Yeah. One thing I do admire about you, you answer, pretty much anything that you receive. So hopefully, you'll be on the lookout for Rodney because it looks like he might have a few
Absolutely.
questions.
Absolutely. All right. Mike says the thing with the 3-2-1 method is you can only, let's see what you you can not only eat a few ribs.
That's right.
There is so much sweetness. Yeah. Sweetness and it kind of fills you up. It's a great method for competition, or if you want to wow some folks at a backyard cookout. Yeah, I totally agree.
I agree.
Yeah, like if you watch, the YouTube videos that do tout to 3-2-1, they're all kind of, like I said, at that 2-hour middle mark when you're rapping. Most of them are encouraging you to, add some brown sugar or add some honey. And that is kind of like it's like the go-to competition.
Like a part of the Bible.
Yes. Yeah. When I judged at a few contests,
Yeah.
KCBS contests, it was like the ribs. They all kind of had the same, they were all going for that sweet, sweet and savory.
Yeah.
And it kind of wore me out with it.
Well, but if that's the standard, then that they know that, and so that's just how you do it.
Well, it's just like, I guess, like when a good football team, it's a copycat league. When something is working, everybody else wants to do it. So when folks were winning big money with their ribs, doing it that way, then
That's right.
everyone else, wants to do it as well. And Mike's point, also 3-2-1 works great if you want to, really wow over some folks, at a backyard cookout, because they're just going to be, so tender.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah. All right. So correctional officer for lockdown.
All right. I like the whole name and everything.
Yeah. And he's one of our regulars.
Yes, he is.
Says, hello, Kenyatta and your wife. You two are awesome.
Aw,
I
thank you.
appreciate that. Appreciate that for sure. So I guess just to kind of put a bow on the 3-2-1.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, or do you advocate for the 3-2-1? Because you like to fall off the bone.
I do. I mean, those are my best memories. So, my dad is not here anymore, and so that's how he prepared it. And so I think that's I'm just a little bit set in my ways. I have tried quite a few of your ribs, and I like most of the ways that you've prepared them. So I can adjust. It's just that I think in my heart, I like it that way.
Well, okay, but again, you said your dad didn't rap.
He did not.
But yeah, he definitely was going for the fall off the bone.
Oh, absolutely. That was his.
Slow.
That was his standard. It wasn't. It wasn't just that he was going for it. It was going to be that way, and he was very consistent with it.
Yeah, he was very consistent.
Oh, absolutely.
So me, on the other hand, I'm always trying new stuff.
Yes, you do.
Almost
every week there's something new, and I'm happy with that.
I like to experiment.
I like to eat.
I like learning from other folks and seeing what they're doing. I'm a copycat guy too, so I like to try some stuff.
But that's flattery? If you can copy somebody and because you like what they do, and then you can figure out ways to do it or make it better. that's flattery. You're flattering them.
Now, speaking of being flattered, now here comes Mike says, Jeannine's voice is so comforting.
Oh,
Wow. All right, Mike.
don't you have absolutely nothing to worry about?
No. And again, shout out to Mike.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't know when he came onto the podcast that he and his wife had just had a newborn. Yay. And I want to say the newborn was only, I think it was 6 days old, I believe. I think that's what Mike said. And yet and still, he still kept his word and came onto the podcast. So I, always indebted to you for doing that. Definitely appreciate it.
And he talks about it too. I think he had a good time. So, he's not just flattering you, Mike. He really did enjoy that conversation.
I did.
So hopefully you'll come back, and be in this chair.
Well, it'll be a virtual chair.
Yeah,
because Mike is down in Southern California. Yes. But yeah, definitely, looking forward to having, Mike back on as well as Joe.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Rodney says, I love all things barbecue and I enjoy the art of smoking. I would love to see you make some videos on making your, what is it? Your own
sausage.
Oh, your own sausage.
Yeah.
If you do that.
Yeah.
If it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Sausage is not a
but I love
simple process.
Yeah, Rodney, I have not tried to make my own sausage.
Yeah, but we could get equipment. I could research that for you. And, we just need like the casings and then the ingredients that go in the casing. I've seen so many cooking shows like on how to make it. I just think that I didn't know that might appeal to you, but I'm willing to do the research and help you out so that I can try it.
I know, a lot of people will take, like for instance, with the ribs, I like to get rid of like those shiners at the end, those two little small bones that aren't going to make for good eating.
Oh, okay.
There's also like sometimes there's a little flap of meat, on when you're getting your ribs prepared.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will take that, and make sausage out of that, as well as with when you're trimming your brisket down.
Yeah.
You're
the leftover pieces.
Yeah, well, I mean, ideally you're getting rid of a lot of the fat, but eventually,
but you need that fat.
Sometimes you are cutting away some meat too. There's definitely good use, when you're kind of cutting down your meat and getting it ready instead of just, chunking it into the trash.
Which we don't do anymore, right? Because now we're composting.
Yeah.
Total sore spot. I know.
Yeah, we want to talk about that in California. And, these new requirements.
Oh my gosh, there's so many requirements. But
that's pretty interesting, and you can see Jeannine here is pretty enthusiastic about the idea.
I would love to.
Kind of feels like she already knows more about it than I do. So that might be something we'll have to do.
I think that would be delicious, and then we could slice it up, and oh my God, that just sounds so good. It's just I'm there. So I'm more than happy to do. I will do that research for you with bells on.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of envisioning it.
Yeah, you should.
That would be a pretty nice undertaking to take on.
Yeah, thanks for the idea.
And it definitely falls, in my wheelhouse of wanting to try some new stuff.
I think so too.
And 2-Bit Smoke Show is saying that you're spot on.
Oh, hey.
Says that Jeannine is correct. There are a lot of videos on making sausages. It looks difficult, but could be fun.
Yeah,
a lot of YouTubers and meet your maker equipment to. Oh, okay. They use meet your.
Oh, okay.
Meet Your Maker. Okay, so that's a brand.
That is a brand.
Okay. Meet Your Maker equipment to make sausages. A good sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
so. He's going to do a little research behind the scenes.
Let me see here. Meet your maker. Let's see what we get here.
Yeah.
So this is what's
I miss producer Aaron.
well, no, this is what's cool about, having like the podcast and getting the interaction.
Yeah.
Because, everybody's got some knowledge and things to share. And I love learning about some new stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the Meet Your Maker website.
Okay.
Chop, grind, and save. Okay. Yeah. And there's looks like the grinder there.
I think it might be for I think the grinder is there in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're going to feed it and then it's going to extrude out into a little, I don't know what they call it, but some kind of a little, not sleeve, but a tube, like a membrane.
$500.
That's not bad.
It'd be cool if we could get one, get them to send us one.
And then we could try it out.
That would be even
We're not turning
better.
it down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for that tip. I'm definitely going to keep this page open.
Oh, please do.
To look more into that.
Yeah.
So that's a great idea.
Yeah, it is a great idea.
All right. Let's see. Correctional officer for lockdown says, how do you prepare your lamb on the grill? Yeah, I'm not a lamb guy.
No, we are not.
Just
did not grow up liking it, and we just haven't ventured down that path. And I just can't. Normally I'm like, yeah, let's try it, but it just doesn't talk to me. But I'd like to hear, how others prepare it and why they love it.
Yeah.
I want to really be convinced to try it. I just,
Well, my dad would love for me to try it.
Yeah, he would.
Because he's always asking me, about doing lamb.
Well, he's from the country, too. They were pretty much eating anything. So, well,
I'm going to tell him that you said that. Boy, oh boy, that he is from the country.
He wouldn't. How could he dispute that? That's the truth.
No, I mean, he moved to California, the Bay Area, I think when he was like 9. He basically grew up here, but that's all right. Okay. All right. Let's see. I've never heard of anyone marinating lamb meat. Can it be smoked? Now, I'm pretty confident that it can be smoked.
Yeah, the smoking part is I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
but
I think you can pretty much do anything, low and slow. Mm-hmm. And I mean, anything like Jeannine mentioned, deviled eggs.
Oh, yes.
You can do eggs on the smoker.
Yes.
We've kind of talked about this before. I've even heard about people smoking ice. You smoke the water and then you get that smoke flavor in it, and then you freeze it, make ice cubes.
What would that drink be? Is it like an old fashioned? Like what needs to have a smoky flavor?
Yeah, I think an old fashioned definitely you could level up.
I would like to see that. I would be down for that. We could just have our smoked ice. We can do a little taste test. We could do a video.
I need more time.
All right. That's a good one.
The regular job is keeping me from being able to do all this great stuff.
Yeah.
And there's only so much time in the evening and on the weekend.
I know we have the ingredients for an old fashioned. I've seen not that we have like a bar back there, but we do have quite a few ingredients.
That's right. All right, Harvey says, I'm looking forward to for some dry aged barbecue in the future.
Oh.
Yeah, when I really started to get into barbecue, I also was really interested in dry aging some steaks.
Yeah.
I never got around to buying, because they were selling these like dry age I don't want to call them refrigerators, but
Yeah,
kind of
kind
similar to like a refrigerator type device
but
that's
special.
specific for dry aging. I think there was a company
Yeah.
that I remember was kind of making a lot of waves,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think
You don't think
it
it took
really
off?
worked out well. I think there might have been some issues. So
I
I don't
see.
know. It kind of scared me off, and I never did really go down that road. But I think that's another avenue to look
so,
at.
too.
Is potentially doing some dry aging, because I would like to know. The difference in the taste.
Yeah.
They say it's a very distinct, unique taste when you have dry aged beef. It's definitely different,
Do you think it has more flavor? Because that's my theory, is that it brings more.
I just remember hearing folks describe it as kind of a nutty flavor.
Yeah.
Whether it's more, I'm not sure, but I think it's a kind of a either you like it or you don't is my understanding. All right, 2-Bit Smoke Show says, everything that they sell on the Meet Your Maker website has a lifetime warranty as well, which is super cool. Yeah, that is good. That's good to know.
I guess the other question is the shipping free?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, when you're buying something that, that's in that price range and with that amount of weight, I don't think you can really expect the shipping to be free.
All right.
Yeah, that's more, smaller things. But yeah, I do kind of have a thing about, paying exorbitant prices for shipping.
Yes, I know.
All right, Rodney says,
oh, it's free.
You're jumping ahead. Okay.
Sorry.
So let me jump ahead.
All right, you go ahead and jump ahead.
So 2-Bit Smoke Show confirms that the shipping is free.
Yes.
So they've baked in the shipping with the cost of the Meet Your Maker. So that's good to know.
Very smart.
Okay, and let's go back to Rodney.
Absolutely.
Stop jumping ahead.
Yes,
so Rodney says, I made some bologna out of brisket. Best bologna I've ever had.
You said you were going to try that.
You control the ingredients instead of eating meat with fillers. Yeah, that's another video that I do want to make.
Absolutely.
Is, smoking bologna.
Yum. And I love bologna.
But see, Rodney's taking it even further though, because not only is he doing, I'm assuming that he smoked this, but he did a brisket, and then out of the brisket, he made his own bologna.
Wow. I'm in awe of that. That just sounds beyond delicious. Love brisket. You know how much I love brisket. And then to turn it into bologna, that just sounds like that's one of the ultimate. So I would really like you to take on that challenge. Pretty please.
Okay, well, we'll see. Like I said, hopefully maybe we can get a sponsor deal, or maybe Jeannine will put something under the tree for me this year. Like that.
I have I make my little, in the back of my mind, and I have little notes of things that you are showing interest in. And so, I will try to remember this.
Okay.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. I'm looking, and Rodney says, "Good night, guys. Boarding my plane.
Oh, fly safe."
All right. Yeah. Definitely have safe travels.
Sounds like maybe he's flying for Easter.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning in, and again
Absolutely.
for subscribing and for chiming in with some comments. Definitely appreciate it, and hope that you, again, travel safe and
come back
and make sure you join us again. All right.
It's just really flown by. So funny how the The time just flies by.
Yeah, I see. We're almost an hour in, and it does appear that the comments and things are slowing down. So
yeah.
this might be a good point for us to say goodnight as well.
That's right.
But again, I do want to thank everyone for tuning in.
It was really fun.
Yeah, always appreciate it. Again, it's always even better, when we have good interaction from everyone.
Absolutely.
Because again, that really helps drive the show. And we'd love to answer questions and respond to everyone's comments. Again, so Mike is asking that question again. Oh, what's everyone cooking for Easter?
Yeah, y'all should respond and let us know.
Need to know what everyone else is cooking for Easter.
That's right.
Because again, I'm just gonna mainly be eating. I'm gonna be smoking some bacon the night before Easter for church. And eating some of this honey baked ham that Jeannine has already bought.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, but I really didn't want to put any extra pressure on you this time around because you have so many videos that you're producing, and I just thought to make it easy, let's just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Next time I'll raise the bar.
Well, whatever you guys do, again, we're always encouraging everyone, get out there,
try it.
Use your grills, your smokers.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing like, making your own food in your own backyard. You're in control of the ingredients and the entire process, and it's really rewarding. It's like what is the word I'm looking for? Self-gratification, but then you're also, making the ones around you
happy,
extremely happy as well. Yeah, Mike. Okay, see, that's where I need to be.
We gotta go visit.
Yeah, Mike is got some hams going, some ribs, and tri-tips.
Wow.
That sounds great.
That does sound good.
And not to be left out, 2-Bit Smoke Show says that he's going to try to smoke oxtails. That's also on our list. He's going to do oxtails for the first time for Easter. And he's going to see which is better, the Smokin Brothers pellet smoker or the Primo XL 400. Now, see, I would argue, or I would bet that you'll have an easier time, with the pellet smoker.
Absolutely.
Set it and forget it. But I would put my money on, the Primo, just because, you're going to be cooking with charcoal, wood. So I'm going to lean that way. That's going to be my prediction.
You have a question about the price of a used
okay,
grill.
now you're jumping ahead again. See, I like to kind of go in the order that the comments are coming in.
Well,
but I did want to acknowledge Mike. Thanks again, Mike. For tuning in, and you have a great Easter as well. Appreciate you, brother. And now, Jeannine, who likes to jump ahead, our correctional officer for lockdown, says, is $700 a decent price for a used Ranch Weber grill? Now, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't recall how much like a new Weber Ranch costs. I mean, I kind of thought it was in that ballpark.
You don't think it's closer to like $1,000?
It could be, but I don't think it's much more than 800. Trying to see. Let me see. Let's go to the website here.
Let's take a look.
Because I kind of feel like I think 700.
You think that's a little high?
Might be a little high, but let me see. I wonder, but it's possible that they might not be selling the ranch.
Okay.
Right now. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
The ranch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, I take that back. I had no idea.
Wow.
1850, brand new for a 37-inch. So, okay,
Yeah.
scratch everything I just said.
Yeah.
If the one that you're looking at is in pretty good condition,
And it's only $700.
that's a steal.
I think you need to like go there and grab it right away.
Absolutely.
I remember when you went on that road trip to get the Hunsaker, and it was like you were like 3 or 4 hours away, so it was worth it, right? When the price is good, you should take action.
Yeah, I love a good, good price on a used grill that's in good condition.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will buy them.
Yeah.
And they might cook on them once or twice.
They don't know what they're doing, maybe.
Well, they're either getting discouraged or, the excitement has quickly rubbed off.
Yeah.
And then it's just, or worn off. And then, it's just sitting and not being used at all. And that's a great opportunity, to score a new, not a new, but a, lightly, gently used grill. So I would definitely say, yeah, if that ranch kettle is in
good shape,
pretty good shape, I would jump on that because I had no idea that they cost
that much. Yeah,
$1,850.
Wow.
But yeah, it's huge. A 37-inch.
It is. It's pretty sexy.
Yeah,
I'm liking it.
Yeah. You can put that under my tree too, Jeannine.
Okay. We're gonna have to up my Christmas budget. That'd be nice.
I'm just saying.
And we know we should save that for the future, to kind of find out what people want on their Christmas list if they could have one, and it was filled with lovely, smokers and equipment. What would make your Christmas list? So we'll save that.
Well, yeah, I think everyone
in Hanukkah,
has an idea of what they would want, for their next.
That's right.
Their next grill. But yeah, definitely. Okay, let's see here. We got another comment coming in from Edison Johnson.
All right.
You and I met online being early buyers of Weber Summit Kamado. I've enjoyed following you ever since. Carry on. Oh, thank you, Edison. Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely one of the early adopters of the Summit Kamado.
Yeah.
When Weber came out with the Summit Charcoal, I was on the sidelines because the price was just a little bit more than I was comfortable spending at that time. And then, when they rebranded the Summit Charcoal as the Summit Kamado,
I see.
And they made some changes to it. I didn't think that the changes that they made were too big of a deal. And they lowered the price.
That helps.
And I was excited to be one of the first. And unfortunately, being one of the first, there were some issues.
I think I remember some of those.
Yeah, the stand was wobbly,
right.
And I think that was pretty common.
Right.
And then also the inside of the lower portion of my Summit Kamado also just had some manufacturing flaws,
right.
but they corrected it. Yeah,
right. But you had to advocate for them to, send you whatever you needed to do to correct it, right? Because I remember there was a lot of back and forth with that one initially. I do remember that.
I mean, there was some back and forth, but I didn't have to fight hard to get them to replace it. No, they were readily,
They were amenable.
Yeah, to replacing it, and they replaced it, and they brought one out already put together, and all good, and it's a great it's a great highly versatile smoker, really high functioning, able to do pretty much anything that you throw at it, so I definitely give the Summit Kamado a stamp of approval.
Yep.
All right, correctional officer for lockdown says a suggestion for the oxtails is to marinate them in Jim Beam or Jack Daniels.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds good.
Yeah. I could see that, it might be a late Easter, something to do for Easter. I could see that. Just gotta find where to get the oxtails. I think the last time I looked, I didn't see them at Sam's Club.
No, but I kind of think Winco has them. And they're pretty good, but they're the butcher area, and I'm pretty sure they've got them.
Well, when you see them, you need to get them.
Well, I need a commitment.
I told you, if you bring them home, I will smoke them.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'll take that as a commitment.
Yeah, that's a commitment.
I think you have some Jack Daniels.
I do. That's why I'm ready. I'm ready. All right.
Oh, he saw some.
Yeah, 2-Bit Smoke Show says he recently saw oxtails at Sam's Club.
I've never seen them at Sam's.
I think I've seen them there before.
Okay.
They may not be there all the time, but definitely the next time I see them, for sure, I'm gonna get some.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. But again, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Love the support, the feedback, the comments, the questions, and it makes the time go by really quickly. So hope you all have a blessed and enjoyable holiday weekend. Get out there, enjoy your grills and smokers. Make sure to tune in to us. We're here every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So signing off, this is Kenyatta Robinson, joined by my lovely wife, Jeannine. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Yeah.